Hello, this is Jeff at Love First, and my guest today is Quinton. We're talking today about love and money. And first, I'll let you say hello to the good people here.
Hello.
So your camera is here.
Oh, hello.
What do you see as the relationship between love and money?
So I look at love as a frequency, and I look at love as abundance. So when you look at love and tune into it as a frequency, money comes in naturally. When you look at money as something you need to chase for, then it looks at something as a need. When you look at love as just the need, as the same thing, as something you need or something you have to chase, then it kind of comes from the same thing. But when you're attracting it, then it kind of comes from the same thing.
But do you believe that you could acquire love through money? Like, can love be bought almost?
That thinking is transactional.
Yeah.
And that mindset, for some, thinks that works, but I myself don't.
I get what you're saying, but would you, like, anthropologically, I think, people are designed for safety and security, probably more so than for love. So it's like on the Maslow's pyramid of needs. So, like, if you don't have safety, security, shelter, then maybe romantic love, is a luxury, right?
So the way I have seen it in romantic, or even just, for example, with my kids or in my family, just with connection. For example, the opposite of addiction is connection.
Yeah.
And when we disconnect, we are trying to chase something. We are running after something. When we view something that we're trying to chase, we're being ambitious. We're looking after something that we're constantly trying to climb for, we're trying to achieve. And we get lost in that race. And when we've built a society where that's a constant achievement, we get lost. And we end up building a sense of that it's never enough. And when that keeps being our constant mindset, that becomes not love, it's lust.
Or almost performance, even.
Performance, yeah.
I could see that.
And it becomes what they say, the rat race.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Love, it doesn't need an amount. It doesn't need to be measured.
That leads really well into the next question. Have you ever been in love, and if so, could you explain?
Yes.
Okay.
I have. All the time. I've been in love from when I was young. I was in love when my children were born. I was in love when I realized that I got to a point in life where, especially, I was facing a point in, I'm in addiction to mental health. And when I was going in a part of my recovery journey that I was becoming too disconnected, that I wasn't loving myself.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's where I also was finding the love for myself again. And back when COVID started, my father passed of stage 4 brain cancer. When he did, he was put in the hospital. He had pneumonia of the blood, and he was put in ICU. He was very nonverbal because he had tubes in him, and he was a Leo. He would talk forever. But we always had that disconnect because I'm a Sagittarius, and we were fire and fire. Like, we would clash in our ways of communicating, but he could not talk. So I had to pick up on all these cues of how to not talk. I understood because I was his medical proxy. I learned more about that man in 6 months than I did in the entire lifetime I knew him.
Wow.
And I fell in love with that man. Because my parents were split before I was born. And I heard 2 stories of the version of him, of what he, of his version of his own story and my mom's version of his story. And I learned so much about him, who he truly was, through that.
Wow.
And it was the most devastating and most heartfelt experience in my life. And it's the next year, my son was born. And he is...
like a circle of life kind of thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he has autism, and he's verbal, but he didn't learn to really speak until he was 3. So he had a lot of nonverbal cues up until then. And it was very much learning the same thing. And so a lot of, from basically 2020 till for the last 6 years, I've learned a lot about human interaction through nonverbal cues. And that is, and if can and is very challenging, but rewarding beyond anything. And I learned a lot between what is attachment, what is lust, and what is love.
That's fair. And as you were speaking, I was thinking, I think sometimes the want to acquire money is to become lovable to others.
Yeah.
So like, I know I fell into that trap, especially like, with courting women.
Yeah.
I thought it was an expectation, I believe, so, and also I felt like, I had to perform. I had to acquire a certain amount and have a certain status in order to be lovable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a side that we don't really talk about love. But like, love's not just, you going out and presenting yourself to the world, but like how you're perceived by the world. And I think money can be a weird filter for that. So I know that's like, I've definitely fallen into that trap.
Well, yeah, because in society, if you have this, then you're thought of this way. Or if you have this many followers, people will think of you this way. Or if you have this point of view, people will view you this way. But realistically, at the end of the day, and it took me back even through my darkest of times, it goes back to a lyric that I kept playing back, was, "You see my pain is real. Watch my world dissolve and pretend that none of us will see the fall. But as I turn to sand, you will take me by the hand and declare that love will prevail over all."
Whoa, what song is that?
That is it's by the band System of a Down, and it's called Ego Brain.
It's wonderful. Quinton was talking a lot about love, and we're talking about, why it's so hard to, I don't know, maybe accept and even give love. And I think sometimes money can be a filter. So I was just going to ask Quinton, we're talking about being lovable and being, worthy of love. Why do you think that's so hard for people to even self-accept?
Well, I think we've been conditioned in a society where we've been put in the condition where everything's put to a value. Mm-hmm. And where we've even put love as a value. And where we put money beside that, we think that, they equate. But they don't. And
probably because money is quantifiable, like it's literally quantifiable.
Yeah.
And we're grasping to show that we make a measurement, so it's almost like a stand-in for value.
Exactly. But think of, and we have up very much into this point, where money has been a quantitative value.
Yeah.
Think of where we are now, though. We're getting into very much a digital environment, and where our economy just keeps growing and growing and growing, and with that in the digital world, where that keeps going into AI and eventually progressive AI, what if currency eventually does not become quantitative, where that grows to a point where, like love, that doesn't have a quantity?
That's something to ponder. I like that. And changing gears dramatically, actually, we have we do a segment where we just do yes or no answers, and try your best to stick to a yes or no response.
Okay.
I think I already asked you this, but I'll ask you again. Have you ever been in love?
Yes.
Fair enough. Have you ever been in love? Has anyone ever been in love with you?
Yes.
Have you ever been wealthy?
Yes.
Are you currently in love? And if not, would you be willing to experience love again?
Of course.
Have you ever fallen in love with somebody or something but had to let it go because of financial situations?
Financially, no.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's good. Are you happy to be with us today?
So happy.
Would you be interested in supporting or participating in some Love First events?
Of course.
How about right now?
Yes.
Wonderful. You said the magic words. Oh, what is all this?
Oh my God. It's not even coming out.
Uh-oh.
Why are you giving us... Thanks for entertaining us today, and I hope this has been informative. From Love First, this is Jeff signing off with our good guest, Quinton.
Thank you for having me.